Jai Shri Ram. Let us start with the chapter 10 of the book called The Invisible Four. When Urva had returned to his ordinary self, Lord Hanuman explained the visual of four mental bodies. The human mind is actually a composite of four separate bodies which are made up of intangible matter. Like your physical body inhales and exhales air, your mental bodies inhale and exhale thoughts. The illusionary strength of your mental bodies lies in the fact that they are invisible and unknown. When they do something, you, the soul, feel that you are doing something. When they desire something, you mimic those desires as though they are your own. This illusion is good if you just want to experience the scenes in the most intimate way possible. However, when bad and miserable scenes start rolling and you want to get out of them, the same illusion becomes a problem. To break this illusion, the invisible four must become visible so that when they make a desire, the soul doesn't mimic it. Deva, when you have trained us fully, would we be able to see our mental bodies as clearly as we see our physical bodies now? When you are watching your physical body, who is the watcher? Asked Lord Hanuman. My mind, Deva, replied Urmi. And when you are watching your mind and observing your thoughts, who is the watcher? The soul, said Urmi. Let us express our gratitude to Urmi. Lord Hanuman said, technically speaking, a soul can't watch anything by itself. A soul is basically nothing. It watches everything through the character, that is, through the body and mind. So the mind can watch the body, but who can watch the mind? Mind watches itself, said Urmi. Yes, you can make your mental bodies, the invisible four, expose each other just like they jointly expose your physical body, said Lord Hanuman. Mind is mighty, but it works in a programmed and predictable manner. My words are going to program your four mental bodies in such a way that they start exposing each other and start owning up their desires. Once that happens, your soul will be like, oh, my physical and mental bodies. See what he says. Once that happens, the soul will be like, oh, my mental and physical bodies. As you agree, the desire just expressed is yours, not mine. I am not going to mimic this desire. I am not going to let you decide my next scene. You deal with your desire while I go and live the scene that I want to live through some other character. Deva, began Dhanushka. Let us express our gratitude to Dhanushka. Deva, began Dhanushka, whose thirst had almost died now. My body desires to drink water. On the other hand, my mind desires to suppress my thirst. The body and mind are part of the same character. Then why do they have conflicting desires? You told that the character is incomplete by definition and wants to become complete. So physical and mental bodies of the character should all work in harmony and try to complete it, shouldn't they? They should work as a team. It is a clueless team with an unachievable goal, said Lord Hanuman. None of them know what the complete or whole is. They can't possibly know. A portion can never know what the whole is. So they have different approaches as to what might complete the character. The physical body and the four mental bodies are like five clueless people who are bound to each other by unbreakable chains, searching for a mysterious treasure in unknown territory. They all have different ideas and guesses as to where the treasure could be. Even though their goal is the same, their approaches are different. That is why they create different desires. At each step, the most powerful desire wins. Deva, I know that my physical body is desiring for water right now. Out of the four mental bodies, which body is desiring to suppress the thirst? Inquired Dhanushka. You will know soon enough, said Lord Hanuman. These are the names of the four mental bodies. The intelligence body, the intellect body, the samskara body and the chitta body. I am calling these bodies to emphasize that they are very much like your physical body, except that they are invisible and intangible. Once that's clear to you, you may drop the word body and simply refer to them as intelligence, intellect, samskara and chitta. Also, when I use the word body alone, it means the physical body. So let's start with the physical body. The physical body, as you know, is made up of tangible matter and interacts with the tangible matter that falls within the range of its senses. When you see or smell mangoes and want to eat them, that's your body's desire. It believes that the complete and the whole is a perfect and immortal body that never gets hungry, thirsty, old or sick. Many a times when the craze of youth is we feel that we are immortal, right? It classifies matter in two categories. The matter that helps it get better and nearer to perfection and hence must be consumed, and the matter that makes it worse and takes it farther from perfection. Thus, it must be discarded. The whole mechanism of your body is based upon consuming the former category of matter and disposing of the latter. My physical body craves for buckets full of delicious honey, Deva, said Urva, grinning. Does it really believe that doing so will take it nearer to immortality? It does the opposite. It takes it nearer to death. Well, said Urmi, I guess the mental bodies know that. Hence they overpower your body's natural desires and superimpose their desires on it. Does that mean that I didn't have a mind? If I didn't have a mind, my physical body would self-destruct within a day. It would die like an ant in a pool of honey, wondered Urva. No, not so fast, said Lord Hanuman. How much honey can you eat in one go? The body doesn't want to harm itself. Once it has consumed enough honey, it would turn its hope of perfection towards something else, maybe something salty. Don't forget, your physical body has a mechanism to discard the consumed matter that doesn't suit it, including the harmful matter. Besides, how much honey could you possibly procure without the help of your mental bodies? Not much. Your ability to smell the honey has a limit. Therefore, it's wrong to speculate that your physical body would die within a day if it didn't have the support of the mental bodies. Most of the time, desires created by your mental bodies wreak havoc on your physical body. Look at the trees. They have an almost non-existent mind, but they live very, very long, longer than human beings. There is something, the body secretes a chemical known as ghrelin, Ghrelin. So ghrelin is known as a chemical secretion that tells the mind that this thing is full, your stomach is full. So ghrelin is known as the hunger chemical. It's a satiating chemical. Maybe my desire to eat mounds of honey is not entirely my body's desire, Deva, guessed Urva. Yes, a physical body free from other influences doesn't desire anything self-destructive, said Lord Hanuman. Your physical body lives in the present and categorizes things within its reach in two categories: things that it should consume or retain, and the things that it should discard or reject. This categorization is based on its desire to become the whole. Of course, it doesn't know what the whole is. All its efforts to become the whole are futile. This is not your soul's concern though. Your soul is only interested in the emotions that result from these effects. Very powerful. Let's try and understand this a little deeper. So, the physical body has two aspects. One is something that it wants to consume, which will make it whole. See, understand that all five bodies, the character by definition is incomplete. Right? All five bodies are trying to make the character complete. But each of the five bodies have a different approach. So the first body is the physical body, which wants to make itself complete by the action of eating. There is another action, which is sex. which is to reproduce. So the physical body wants to make itself immortal, right? So it believes that by eating some food, right, it becomes immortal. By doing some exercise, it becomes immortal. By reproducing, it becomes immortal. But however, we know that that's not true, right? It's the most futile thing. A body which once it takes birth has to die. Similarly, the four mental bodies also will try to keep making it complete, but that is also futile. So our effort, our sadhana is to identify that, okay, if I'm eating too much in excess, which my body doesn't require, then I'm harming my body. So at that time, we use our mental awareness to tell the physical body that relax. Okay, it's over. So the ghrelin is a signal. The secretion of ghrelin is a signal to the body, to the mind, that enough. You're full now, right? So that explains it. Exclaimed Urva, looking at his fiancée Urmi. Explains what? Urmi raised her eyebrows. Nothing, said Urva, and returned his gaze to Lord Hanuman. But the immortal Guru had closed his eyes to allow his disciples a thoughtful pause to help them fully absorb the knowledge of the physical body. Urmi and Urva took advantage of this pause and had a silent conversation that went something like this. It explains it, doesn't it? I don't get it. Explains what? Asked Urmi. The desire to procreate. The desire to give birth to children. I don't know what you mean. You know very well, Urmi. You are the one who keeps dreaming about marriage. Well, we have to procreate to produce the next generation of Mathams. There's nothing physical about it. Maybe it's a collective desire of our physical body and mental bodies. The physical body is definitely involved. You can't deny that. Why do we feel attracted to each other? Because my physical body sees the possibility of immortality in becoming one with you, and so does your body. I am attracted towards your seed and you towards mine. Who told you that I am attracted towards you? The gods have chosen us to lead our tribe and procreate if required. Gods will decide whether they want us to procreate or not, communicated Urmi with glowing expression on her face. Okay, forget about us. Forget about human beings too. Why do any male and female get attracted to each other? If it were a desire triggered by higher faculties of the mind, animals won't be procreating. It is a physical desire, I'm telling you. Yes, I can agree with that. So that's why it's called the basic instinct, because the most basic instinct for any animal is to procreate. That's why they say that towards sannyas, towards sadhana, towards enlightenment, towards moksha, the last desire to leave you, is also the desire to reproduce. So that's why you see that many a times Indra sends apsaras to the rishis who are meditating to ensure that they get distracted. So even if there is one amsha, one iota also of desire, that is the desire that gets triggered. It's not the desire to eat, to anything else. The most fundamental desire is this. So, yes, I can agree with that, nodded Urmi. Well, here's my understanding. First, physical bodies try to grow and become immortal by themselves. Because till the age of 21, we are all growing in the physical body, right? But when they stop growing and start decaying, they look for alternative means to become immortal. That stage is called puberty. That's when my body starts looking for seeds to create almost identical bodies that would live long after I have died. I have been trying to understand this attraction for years. Now that I have understood it, I feel less attracted. You speak for yourself, Urva, said Urmi. Don't speak on my behalf. I have never been attracted in the first place. All right. Let's speak for other males and females then, sighed Urva. Having their own children is not enough. They want to live long enough to see their children procreate too and give them grandchildren, just to be sure that a part of them will survive long after they have grown. So this explains the communities, that is the elders' desire to say that, shadi hua ki nahi. So they don't understand this. Please understand that. Right now we are trying to we are peeling the layers of the onion to understand what is the rationale behind the behavior when they say, have you got married? So we blame them saying, why are they saying this? But then one of the reasons is this, that it is their physical body that wants to actually see that their body lives on through this. Hello? I've lost you. Huh? Yeah, I've got it back. So, a physical body, so just that to see their grandchildren, can you just, 1 second. Okay, let's, alright, no, it's gone again. Get another mic, no? I think power is out or something. I can try and continue without the mic. Are you able to hear me? You're new to the session? We do this every Saturday after this thing is over. So we are doing it for the last 1 year or more. Every Saturday we read the Katha session from Immortal Talks of Lord Hanuman. This also, there is a history to this. I will explain it to you later. So, yeah. Hello. Yeah. So what do they say? That the physical body wants to live long after it is gone through the children and the grandchildren. Suddenly, a mysterious voice rang in Urva's head. A physical body can't think about the future. The same voice had whispered in Urmi's head too. With a jubilant expression on her face, she silently communicated, see, not everything is physical, Urva. The attraction, the desire to reach the seed is purely physical. I agree that the mind thinks about the future, not the body. In that case, the mind has its own reasons to get attracted to you. But physical attraction is different. The body wants to reach the seed that can make it immortal. It's pure and simple. No calculations about the future are required for that. A desire can be endorsed by one or more than one of your 5 bodies, said Lord Hanuman when he opened his eyes. Since this statement seemed to be in response to Urva's and Urmi's silent conversation, they gave a start. Lord Hanuman continued, in other words, more than one of your bodies can be on the same page to pursue a desire, for different reasons of course. You will be able to understand it better once you know about all the intelligence body, interrupted Urva nervously. Tell us about the intelligence body, Deva. I am so excited. It feels like I have learnt more in the last 2 hours than I have learnt in the last 2 decades of my life. Intelligence body, how does it try to complete a character? By trying to mend the past and secure the future, said Lord Hanuman. Your intelligence body imagines the future and memorizes the past. Please understand, every word that is coming out, let it sink into you deeply. What does the intelligence body do? It tries to secure the future by memorizing the things of the past. In the group, I keep talking about, I keep posting some of the things, right? The Aaj Ki Gyan Ki Baat. What does the Are you a part of the group? Oh, no, I'll add you after this. So one of the things that is there is that Lord Hanuman says in just I think yesterday's that I try to keep the situations the same so that your reaction to that situation changes. मैं परिस्थितियों को वैसे ही रखना चाहता हूँ ताकि आपकी प्रतिक्रिया में अंतर हो. What does it mean? We feel that a lot of our relationships keep moving in the same direction. A lot of our circumstances keep having the same, it's in loop, right? We attract the same bad relationships with our boss, with our partners, with everybody. We feel we want to move away from it. But wherever we go, we attract the same nonsense. Why do we do that? It is because one of the things that happens is that we are unable to change our reaction. Hello? We are unable to change our reaction to the situation. What does it mean by changing the reaction to the situation? It means that we are not reacting in awareness. Everything starts acting as trigger points for us. Somebody says, you want to go outside. Your father says, you are not going outside. Immediately there is a rebellious streak. What do you mean I'm not going outside? You are not the one to direct me. You no longer have control over my life. Now the same situation repeats with your partner. You say you want to go outside, your partner says no, you're not going outside. It's a trigger. The same thing what happened with your father repeats with your spouse. So the same thing which you wanted to do an initiative in your office, your boss says no, sorry, no budget, or I will give it to someone else. The same trigger mechanism happens, right? So what we see is that we attract in our lives very similar scenarios because we have not learned anything from them. And when I say learned anything, which means that we have not healed those trigger points within us. By trying to mend the past and secure the future, said Lord Hanuman, your intelligence body imagines the future and memorizes the past. When you desire to do something out of guilt or to redeem mistakes of the past, you can be sure that it's your intelligence body's desire. When you desire to do something to secure your future or do something that will give you results in the future, you can be sure that it's your intelligence body's desire. So your intelligence body's idea of the whole and complete is a present that has perfect past and a perfect future attached to it. Of course, that complete present never comes. What is the essence of the Gita? Lord Krishna is saying what? Nishkam karma karo. He is saying that do not phal के बारे में मत सोचो. अंजाम कुछ भी हो सकता है. तुम्हारा हार भी हो सकता है, तुम्हारी जीत भी हो सकती है. You can have both. So don't worry about the outcome. तुम अपना कर्म करते जाओ पार्थ, he says, right? Keep doing. What is your dharma? You do that. You don't worry about your karma. Karma means, when he says your dharma is what is your duty. Your karma is your action. You keep doing your action. You don't worry about it. And he says that a warrior who does this, and we are all warriors in our lives, because we are battling so many situations in our lives. That's why it's called the inner warrior, because we are up against society, we are up against our own belief systems, we are up against our belief system versus someone else's belief system that we are working with. So all of these are battles that are happening, that are fought every day in the mind. So can somebody repeat what are those two things that the intelligence body does?
To secure futures. By experiencing the past, we can try to do the thing in good way in futures.
So the first thing that it does is it memorizes the past. So what it means is that the first time I failed, hence the next time also I'll fail, so I will not do this. And what does it do? It tries to secure the future. So what it basically wants to do is a perfect past and a perfect future through the perfect present. which means that all its actions are governed by the past for a perfect future. The second thing that it does, which is again a very, very important thing, is that all its actions are derived from either guilt or its actions are derived from its to redeem the mistakes of the past. For example, I have a son, and my guilt is that I don't spend enough time with him. So when he says, Papa, I want to go for a movie, Papa, I want chocolates, Papa, I want to watch this, out of my guilt, I will say, yes, go ahead and do it. I know it's not good for him. If he watches too much movies, it's not good for him. I know that, if he eats too many chocolates, it's not good for him. But I will take him to the shop. I'll say, okay, what do you want? Lindt. He'll say, get me Cadbury's. I'll say, why Cadbury's? I'll get you Lindt. Because I have a guilt in my mind that I'm earning money, but I'm not spending enough time with my son. So what will I do? I have that money. I'll spend it on him. Why does he want Cadbury's? Come, I'll give you Lindt. You want a vacation? Why go here and there? I'll take you to the best club resort somewhere. So my actions are derived by my guilt. Many a times, a lot of times, when a couple is married and they are living with their in-laws, the son feels the guilt that he is not able to take care of his parents. Okay, I am telling you this because I've seen this in quite a few Indian families. So what does he do? He takes the side of his mother against his wife. Many a times he feels that I need to be spending more. Because of my wife, my life has become better. And what did my parents give me? So he will take the side of his wife against his parents. So a lot of these scenarios that happens is because of unawareness that we go through in life, where we are not able to understand what is governing the prime motive of our actions. If we come into awareness by saying, my intelligence body, see what it is trying to do. Every step, every action that we have, if we try to come with awareness, look at my intelligence body. For example, I have an injury in my thigh. Okay, and I know that if I go out and I cycle more, I'm going to screw this thing. And it's been there, I've been carrying it for 2 years. But then I wanted to push myself a little bit and see, every time I thought, okay, I should go cycling because I love cycling. I used to go from here to Nandi Hills and come back. And doing all this only, I screwed my knee. So I said, let me start again. But I know that there was a part of me, a voice which was saying that, no, I don't want, what if, I get that injury again? What if something happens? So I realized that I was able to differentiate that voice in my head as my intelligence body. And I said, no, I will let the physical body speak for itself. If I go cycling and I feel that pain, then I will say no. So I allowed my physical body to speak for itself and I went out for it. So what I'm saying is, through awareness, we are able to then So through awareness, we are able to differentiate this voice, which is saying that, look, in the past something happened, in the future also this will happen, so protect yourself. There is nothing wrong with what the intelligence body is doing. It is only trying to protect you. But if you be in that protective zone, you are never able to push yourself and explore further dimensions, right? Explore your own boundaries. What about the intellect body, Deva? Asked Urva impatiently. Your intellect body believes that, and this is very important, no? Your intellect body believes that an individual cannot be whole and complete, replied the immortal Guru. It believes that if there is something that is complete, it is made up of many characters, each positioned at an ideal distance from the main character. Please understand that this is a very mysterious thing. So let me repeat it so that unless each one of you understand, I will not move forward, okay? So I'll repeat the sentence. It believes that there is something, that if there is something that is complete, It is made up of many characters, each positioned at an ideal distance from the main character. So to make your character whole, your intellect tries and builds new relationships with other characters and tries to perfect the existing relationships. It marks other characters as a friend or a foe. Just like your physical body marks things as consumable and non-consumable, it desires to push some characters away and bring others closer to your character. If distance can't be altered, it desires to change their behavior by all means possible. How does it try to do this? By sharing thoughts, things, and time with other characters. I desire to bring some changes in my tribe, Deva, said Urva authoritatively, and drew surprising looks from his tribesmen, especially the current chieftain Baba. I will try and start acting on this desire when I become the chieftain. Is it my soul's desire, or am I mimicking a desire of my intellect? Family, friend circle, community, tribe, village, town, class, race, kingdom. In the present world context, color, caste, religion, language, region. We say you're North Indians, right? I mean, Kannadigas say, learn Kannada, you're North Indian. Sometimes you say, we are Dravidians, you are Aryans. Sometimes you say, you're from Karnataka. Within Karnataka, they'll say, you're from Bangalore, you're out of Bangalore. You say, we are from South Bangalore, you're from North Bangalore. Look at the divides that we are ourselves constructing. And why are we doing it? Because this intellect will say, remember this, there were many gurus who tried to bring about inclusiveness by saying that let's break down this entire caste, this upper caste, lower caste, this entire hierarchy, right? One of the things that comes to my mind is the Lingayat. Do you know the Lingayat community? So the Veerashaiva or Lingayat community, when Basavanna, he started the Lingayat community as a Veerashaiva, as the worshippers of Shiva. He wanted to integrate the entire Hindu society, and this happened in the 13th or 12th and 13th century AD. Okay, where he wanted to integrate, and this happened in North Karnataka, integrate the entire Hindu community without this entire caste system, without the hierarchy. But then you know what happened? He wanted to bring everybody under one community, under one this thing of Veerashaiva. But then the people who came and joined this Lingayat sect he came from a Brahmin, he came from this caste, he came from that caste. So now within a few hundred years, Lingayat community now has 46 subcastes. The same thing happened with Sikhism also, right? If you see even Sikhism, they wanted to ensure that their names are only Sikh, but now, they're only Singh. But now they have a Singh plus another name, which tells them that from which caste they converted, they came under Sikhism. And hence the hierarchy. So the mind is always trying to build hierarchy in a community. Even if it is not hierarchy, it is trying to always say that, I am superior, you are inferior. I am like this, so what is it essentially trying to do is, it's essentially trying to bring about a sense of community which it can bind together as itself. And I can see that one of the biggest cult, why am I using the word cult? What does a cult do? A cult tries to bring certain people by breaking down all their differentiating factors under one umbrella. And one of the biggest cults today is Islam. Because and I can say that Dushta Pravritti, which comes together, and I was reading this where the Vanaras ask Lord Rama that why is it that we Vanaras are very poor? We are Janajati ke log. We live in trees and jungles, but we are never able to prosper in life. And we are living in that category only. So Lord Rama says that's because, you see, Dushta Pravritti ke log always come together faster, and the Sajjan never come together. Because we always like to feel that if we are good, the world is good. But that never happens. So it says that he gives the example saying that this prakar madhumakhi, the way honeybees try to construct, and bhalu, the bear comes and with one stroke he takes what he wants and he goes off. It is just like that. So time and again, if you see the entire history of India, the reason why we have been open for invasions is because we never came together. And please, when I read this, understand that whenever you feel that you are differentiating against somebody, please come into awareness that, oh, my intellect is doing this. These lines give a fair idea of the distance of the other characters from you. For instance, your family and friends are intellectually closer to you than people in the tribe or community. Correct? Today, what is corruption? What are the politicians? What is any corrupt person trying to do? Securing money for his future generations. And one of the things that a sadhu, a sannyasi, a sadhu, if you see, he says, the whole world is my family. Because he has broken down his barriers to such an extent, because he says that he gives his own pindadan. And he says, I am doing my own last rites. When I enter, when I become a sannyasi, I perform my own last rites. I perform my own pindadan. And I ensure that now I am no longer identified by what the community has told me that I am so and so. For me now, I will do Loka Kalyan. He will not say that I will do Kalyan only for these people. And trust me, this bhavana, this Uchchikoti ki bhavana they say, no, you understand Hindi a little bit, right? Uchchikoti ki bhavana, this is the higher consciousness of actions derived by higher consciousness, is only today in Hinduism, in Sanatana Dharma. You will not find it in any other dharma. Because they will say that we are one and the others are kafir. Hence our action has to be differentiated. But ours is the only one which says, Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santu niramayaha. When your intellect, usually you cannot push characters out of these boundaries just because they don't fit in your intellect's idea of what they should be. For example, you just can't get rid of a family member who doesn't fit in your intellect's idea of what a family member should be, right? My parents don't exhibit. So I come from a large family, okay? My parents, my wife, my son, everybody, we all stay together, and there are a lot of complexities that come, right? But when you stay in a large family, one of the things that I wanted was to get married to a girl who also comes from such a family, because only that girl can understand what it is staying with a large family. So, very important that we understand that this is the way in which, just because today you don't like your parents' behavior, your in-laws' behavior, and my in-laws also stay quite nearby, so it's a big family. So a lot of complexities. But one of the things that I try to do consciously is to see how is my intelligence and my intellect trying to govern my actions. Very, very important that we are aware how our actions are being governed by our thoughts, and everything that is happening outside is a reflection of our minds. Nothing is in reality happening outside. It is our interpretation. For example, why do they say it is Maya? Is because if you and I see one scenario, I will have different interpretation of it, you will have different interpretation of it, correct? For both of us to have different interpretations, that's why we sit in a corporate room, in our office and say brainstorming. Because all of us have seen that same scenario in a different way, that we are now trying to integrate our views. Correct? That is why it is brainstorming. So it brings us the very question of reality. What is reality? If for you reality is different and for me reality is different, then what is the ultimate reality? The ultimate reality is a sadhu's reality. Please understand what I'm saying. The ultimate reality is a sadhu sannyasi's reality, because his mind is only like a mirror which reflects. His mind is a pure reflection of when you attain enlightenment or moksha or oneness. you realize that everything is Maya, so you stop interpreting everything and you only reflect it. So they say a sadhu's mind is the reflection of the upper world and the lower world. So let's continue. What your intellect believes that other characters are not your ideal constituents of this idea, of its idea of the whole, it desires to change their conduct and behavior. If you are in a position of authority, you make rules. If you have no such powers, you just want to yell and relay your opinions about other people as far as possible. To answer your question, Urva, your desire to bring changes in the functioning of your tribe is certainly your intellect's desire. No one except Urmi noticed the use of the phrase intellectually closer by the immortal Guru. She couldn't help requesting for elaboration. Deva, my family and friends are emotionally closer to me, not intellectually closer. This phrase gives an impression as though my loved ones are just pieces on a chessboard. Emotions and feelings are the byproducts of your bodies attempting to become the whole. Your intellect body is not only the one that triggers, is not the only one that triggers emotions, stated Lord Hanuman. So what are emotions and feelings? What are emotions and feelings? Emotions and feelings are triggered by all 5 mental bodies. We will soon understand. Any scenario that you see that is happening is triggered by your physical body, is triggered by your intellectual body, your intelligence body, your intellect body, your samskara and your chitta. All 5 give you an emotion. All 5. I'll give you an example, okay? You're walking on the road, you see a beautiful girl. To you she is beautiful, maybe to someone else she is not. So you are interpreting it in one way. One is your physical attraction. Second is your intelligence coming into the picture saying, in the past I had a good experience with a similar looking girl. You don't even realize it. But you are already subconsciously making these decisions. In the past I had a good experience with a similar looking girl, so I may have a good experience with her also. Is what your intelligence is doing. It is trying to memorize the past and secure your future through the actions of the present. Correct? Then what is your intellect doing? It will get to understand a little bit more about that person, and she'll say, or without understanding also it will say, what a sanskari nari she is. She's wearing nice, salwar kameez or sari and all that. She's not wearing shorts like other girls are, or mini skirts and all that. So such a girl is a Hindu girl, and I am a Hindu. I am also conservative. Hence she must be conservative. Hence I like her. You don't even know. You have already made those decisions in your subconscious mind. Okay, samskara. How does your samskara interact? You will already see that I have come from such a background. My parents and our family have these samskaras. So she will suit that samskara. The chitta body is the most difficult to understand, and I cannot give you an example now. But all 5 bodies are coming together to evoke an emotion in you. Please understand. You are understanding with me. You are with me now. Perfect.
What about this chitta?
Chitta body is, okay, so before I come there, chitta is actually a rebellious body which wants to break the barriers. It wants to go out of the box. Like for example, your parents, your elders, your teachers, your gurus, somebody, they'll say that, don't do this. Don't go, come back before 10 p.m. But your chitta body will challenge it. Why should I do that? That is your chitta body. The chitta body is also very good because it challenges the norms. It is an inventor's body. It is a discoverer's, it is an explorer's body. Conventional wisdom will say, if you go to the Amazon jungles like this, you will die because of this thing there. But the chitta is an explorer. Chitta will say, why not? You have tried, you have failed. Doesn't mean that I will fail. I also want to go there. I'll fail for myself. If I die, I die. So the chitta is a rebel. I am a major chitta. I used to be, I still am. So for me, but a chitta is somebody who can, a strong chitta is a sannyasi. But a sannyasi, he becomes a sannyasi when he brings the chitta under control. But a strong chitta is somebody who goes against the societal norms. Right? It's not easy to become a sannyasi. Right? Your parents, everybody, you're living in your family. Can you become, and you break all bonds and go and become this thing? It's not possible. So a strong chitta is somebody who will break the samskara, and he will be, and then he will be within the samskaras. The samskara will form around him. Because he becomes a sadhu, I'll give you an example. There was a sadhu in the, about 50 years ago, I'm forgetting his name, I read about him. So he used to only give galis. He used to be in the, somewhere in Madhya Pradesh or Chhattisgarh area. Okay, he would only give galis. He's an enlightened saint, and they say that the people to whom he gives galis, their blessings, his blessings is upon them. Apparently, people used to follow him when he used to go to excrete, to pass motions. And as part of blessings, he would take and throw his stools on the devotees. And they would take it as prasada. They say that the person who got that, uske ghar mein khushali aur mangal chha jayega. And he would give this thing. So what I'm saying is very, very unconventional. Very unconventional. Aghori sadhus, very unconventional. But what they do when they become moksha, when they attain moksha and they become highly enlightened, what they do becomes the samskara for the society. So samskara body is also very crazy. What is samskara body, you know? Samskara body is something which you see as the way in which the society sees you. And you are governed by it. For example, so I'll give it to you with an example so that you understand it. Samskara. I feel, I have an idea of myself that that I am very good with my colleagues. I don't yell at them. I'm very good with them. I'm giving you a very practical thing. Okay, people in my office love to work with me because I'm more easygoing, and if they make mistakes, I'm forgiving, and all of that. So I have a reputation in my office that if you're in Anil's team, it's very good. It's good fun to work in that. And everyone else, they're pretty much harsh on the other guys. So I give them that leeway. Now, my samskara is that I have got an image in my office that I am easygoing and fun to work with, and all that. Now I know that I have this image, but if somebody makes a mistake, I will first, my samskara image will come to my mind. Oh, I have this image that I should not be yelling at that guy because I am a nice guy to work with. Correct? But if you go with that image, you're not giving the right learnings that you have to give to your colleague, to your teammates who are still rising up the ranks. Right? You have to screw them. You have to tell them these are your mistakes. You can defend them outside, but in an office environment, if you really are their mentors, you have. So I asked myself, why am I cannot be easy on this guy because he has created a blunder. Happened just 2 days ago. So I can't be governed by an image. Similarly, I am governed by an image that I am fit. And so when I go out with my friends, they say like, "Arey, how can you have beer? You're a fit guy." And all that, right? So you cannot. I challenge my own image, and I say, why should I do that? I mean, I used to be like that for like 10 years, but then I'm trying to challenge my own image of myself. And so you will realize, as your samskara body, what are the images that you have created of yourself that have become chains around you. You have shackled yourself through these images of yourself about yourself that you have perceived that others are looking at you. So I can't behave like this. Samskara body is very powerful. So a chitta body is somebody who overpowers that samskara body. So you decide for yourself, what kind of person are you? You understand? You go today and check within yourself, And there will be one body which will be the most dominant. One body of intelligence, intellect, samskara, chitta, one body of your personality will be the most dominant body. And that body would have created shackles around you without you knowing.
So how do you see if a person is dominated by chitta body?
A person who's a rebel. Person who will not care about, and I used to be like that. Like I would make fun of my teachers and my professors in the class. I'll make fun of my bosses when he's an idiot. I'll not care for hierarchy. I'll ask myself, he doesn't deserve to be in that position. So why should I respect him? Why should I obey his orders? So your chitta body will be very like even in WhatsApp groups before, right? If somebody who's a elder person talks crap about BJP, Modi and all, I'll give it back to them solidly, and I'll not care. I mean, I'll go up, and now I don't get involved in those discussions. But earlier I wouldn't give two hoots. Saying you may be elderly, but you have blinds on your eyes. I'm trying to open your eyes. I'll give it back to you solidly.
What I'm trying to say, is it a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing if you harness it, right? Everything is, so please understand that why am I saying it's you are dominated by one body is because that body would be taking you in an adverse direction. Because you see, because my chitta body was powerful, I spoilt a lot of relationships, right? Because my chitta body was more powerful, I'll be disrespectful. So I have to start realizing that it is my chitta body that is actually creating all of these. It is actually harming me. Arey kya ho jata? Now I ask myself, it's okay. That person is like that. It's okay. I don't want to change him. It's fine.
Just accept it. Just accept it.
Yeah, accept it or ignore it. So my Guruji says that go and take a maun, not vrata, but mauna dhyana. So he says, what is earlier before I got close to my Guruji, he'll ignore me. He'll not respond to me. He'll not say anything. After I start getting close to him and I start asking all these questions, he would say, तुम इससे अपनी दुनिया को बोल रहे हो कि तुम भाड़ में जाओ. Even Hanuman ji in this says that, can a person be happy? He says, the Mathan tribe asked him, can a person really be happy in today's world? So he says that happiness was earlier in Satyuga everywhere. Then in Treta Yuga it was in regions. In Dwapara Yuga it became within a family. Earlier it was Ayodhya and Lanka. Lanka was the capital of all sins, and the rest of the world was good. There was still goodness in them, right? But in Dwapara Yuga, what happened? It became within family. There were Kauravas and Pandavas, within a good family and a bad family. Then what happened in Kali Yuga? All good and bad is within every individual. All the good and bad. So that's why Lord Hanuman says that, is it possible to be happy? He says it's possible to be happy individually. If you think of it in a society, then the society is gone. You have so many evils. Your environment is being destroyed. You look at everything around you, it will send you into depression. So can you be happy? Yes, you can be happy individually. And that is the reason why there are so many. What is Sadhguru trying to do with inner engineering courses? What is Sri Ravi Shankar trying to do through his courses, Art of Living? So many are trying to say that, look, come, withdraw, go within yourself. You have to be within yourself to realize that happiness, what you seek, is not from the outside world, but it is within you. So, a lot more I have explained to you in brief. It's getting late also. So, we'll continue this. We'll get deeper into what samskara body is, what intellect body is. One of the things that I want to share here is that in this he says that Lord Hanuman says, I'll actually read it out to you so you understand it. Chessboard. Urva turned to Urmi and exclaimed, just the example I was looking for to visualize the intellect's idea of the whole. Thanks, Urmi. Lord Hanuman closed his eyes. I didn't use it in a positive context, frowned Urmi. Loved ones are not pieces of chessboard available for our intellect to play with. Just think about it with prejudices and preconceived notions, suggested Urva. Like a chessboard has squares, the intellect board has many concentric circles, such as the circle that represents life partner, the circle that represents family, the circle that represents the family circle, the circle that represents the community circle. The intellect believes that all these circles are filled with ideal characters and all relationships are in harmony. The main character will feel complete and whole. Okay, all its desires to perfect the relationships come from this idea of the whole. When these desires approach towards fulfillment, we feel positive emotions. Else we feel negative emotions. Understood? When all the people around you, see, you feel that your father should behave in a certain way, your mother should behave in a certain way. All of them, only when they behave in a certain way, I will be whole and complete. My character will experience positive emotions because it is called an echo chamber. If people are countering you all the time, you feel like, क्या बात है यार, इससे बात करना ही बेकार है. Correct? But if people are accepting you, you become an echo chamber. Enjoy the little okay, so of course, Urmi, you feel, your intellect feels that I am an ideal character to occupy the position of your life partner. This Urmi keeps going on, okay? So you feel positive emotions of love and affection towards me. I understand that. But whether you like it or not, the truth is that I am just a piece on your intellect board and you on mine. Enjoy the little pleasure that you get by shrugging off your emotions. You are trapped in an image of a carefree person. See the samskara body. You are trapped in an emotion, you are trapped in an image of the carefree person. That image makes you belittle others' emotions, counseled Urmi. I am aware of that image, but I am not belittling emotions. You are completely missing my point here, said Urva. Am I? I just sought to understand the phrase intellectually closer. It's you who compared relationships with a chessboard, said Urmi calmly. No, Urmi, I just used the concept of the chessboard as a reference to come up with the idea of the intellect board, said Urva with a voice that threatened to implode at every syllable due to the pain of being misunderstood. I just tried to imagine what the intellect body considers to be whole and complete. Unlike the physical body and the intelligence body, the intellect body believes that the individuals can't be complete on their own. Its idea of the whole is certainly a larger body made up of many characters. It's difficult to imagine a larger body. So I came up with the imagination of an intellect board upon which all characters of my life are placed. Lord Hanuman returned to the talks. That's why one has to be very careful to use metaphors and analogies very carefully while understanding the mysteries of the mind and soul. Stick to the technical details. Drop the analogy as soon as it starts dragging you away from the truth. So, I'm going a little ahead so that we end with this example. When Prabhu Shri Ram was ruling his kingdom from Ayodhya, said the immortal Lord Hanuman reminiscently, majority of citizens loved him and supported his decisions, but he had his share of critics, even though he was the most ideal king one could be. His ardent supporters would try to reason with the naysayers, but to no avail. Some supporters went to the extreme of labeling the naysayers as evil. Before it could turn into hatred between the groups, Prabhu Ram requested the sadhus and rishis to spread awareness about the nature of the intellect. The supporters finally understood that it was all right to dislike someone, even someone of the stature of Prabhu Ram. Even though your tribe is a group of few people, some of them dislike you, Urva. How would you deal with them? So what I'm trying to say is that Narendra Modi is nothing. Even as ideal king as Prabhu Shri Ram himself was criticized.
Is still being criticized.
It is still being criticized. So, I will, if you are once you become part of the group, you'll know I keep sharing my Guruji. My Guruji is Ishan Mahesh Ji. He lives in Delhi. He is a highly enlightened Himalayan saint who has taken Grahastha. He is married with 2 kids. And he says that, and Lord Hanuman has dictated Ramayana to him in a different way, which captures the emotions of the characters. So far we only knew that अच्छा ऐसा ऐसा हुआ, हनुमान जी गए, सीता माता को ढूंढा, लंका दहन किया, यहाँ पे आए और प्रभु श्री राम को उनकी चूड़ामणि दी. That's the story we know. But the intricate emotions, it is so deep that you will be crying throughout the book. Those emotions can only be told by a person who has witnessed. So he says, Lord Hanuman ji, he took Ishan Mahesh ji on a Divya Yatra to show him the scenes and say that these are the emotions that every character is feeling. So he's कैमरे को हृदय में लगा दिया और मुझे इनकी हृदय की सारी बातें, सारी भावनाओं को पता चला और अब उन्होंने मुझसे कहा कि अब तुम लिखो. So that is how those upanyas have been written. So he has written 10 stories. Now I am proofreading the 11th one. He has given me a task because I have a very minute eye. I have a very intrinsic eye. If I read one sentence, I'm able to find mistakes in them. So that's how Guruji and I became close, because I started taking photographs and sending it to him on WhatsApp saying, ये है होना चाहिए था but है. All of these small mistakes I started showing it to him. So he says, Hanuman ji तुमसे अपना काम करवा रहे हैं, and that is how he and I became close. So he says that in many of his YouTube videos that बहुत सारे लोगों का मेरे पास चिट्ठियाँ आती है, मैसेजेस आते हैं और वो बोलते हैं कि प्रभु श्री राम की सारी बातें अच्छी लगी पर ये एक बात अच्छी नहीं लगी कि उन्होंने सीता माता को छोड़ दिया, वापस आके जंगल में रहने दिया. तो मैं कहता हूँ उनसे कि ये एक बात क्यों रखी है, इतना भी क्यों कृपा किया है राम पे, उनको तो पूरा ही तुम मत चाहो ना, इतना क्यों छोड़ रखा है. सो ही सेज दैट दीज आर ऑल, मन क्या करता है, मन का काम ही है संदेह करना, संशय करना. यू आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग व्हाट आई एम सेइंग? सो मन का काम ही है संदेह संशय करना. इट इज टू डाउट. सो बिटवीन अ डिवोटी एंड गॉड, the barrier that comes is the barrier of the mind which doubts. So that's why I'm saying that these critics were there even during there, and you said even now they are there. Even now they are there. कि भगवान ने, प्रभु श्री राम ने ऐसा क्यों किया, उनको नहीं करना चाहिए था, क्यों वो सीता के विलाप में रोए, वो तो भगवान है, उनको ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए था. तो इसके वजह से हम प्रभु श्री राम की प्रभुत्वता पे संशय करते हैं, थोड़ा संशय होता है. सो गुरुजी ने थोड़ा क्यों, ये तो मन की माया, पूरा ही कर दो. तुमसे तो राम कभी मिलेंगे नहीं, तो पूरा ही कर दो, क्योंकि वो जो थोड़ा बचा के रखा है दिल में, वो तुम्हें पूरा वो पॉइजन कर देगा. ओके, जय हनुमान, जय श्री राम. With this we end the session.